called Indu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to YouTube. Okay. So Bhagavata Pravaham, summary of Bhagavata Pravaha. So, dear devotees, Bhagavatam. So far we have heard the overview of Bhagavatam, and we heard how Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself. And then the whole Bhagavatam, summary of Bhagavatam in 1 hour, that we have done in the very beginning. After that, first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto, sixth canto, seventh canto, eighth canto, ninth canto, 10th canto, 11th canto, 12th canto, the whole Bhagavatam we did here. And after that, now we are doing the summary of Bhagavatam. And we have covered from first canto to fourth canto so far. Now we will hear from fifth canto to eighth canto. Big chunk. So what subject matters did we hear so far? Atra sargo visargascha stanam poshanamutaya manvantara ishanukada nirodho muktirashraya. Those are the 10 subject matters. Atra sarga visarga. We have heard these 2 topics, sarga, visarga, and visarga is continuing a little bit today. And sthanam, we will hear the sthanam, then poshana, then utaya, then manvantara, the 4 big topics. Yeah. So 5th canto has the last bit of visarga, okay, because we'll be hearing the Priyavrata, Maharaj Priyavrata's dynasty in the 5th canto. And the second part of the 5th canto is sthanam. Okay. So sthanam, poshana. 6th canto is about poshana. And 7th canto is about utaya. 8th canto is manvantara. So we are going to hear about this today. So in 5th canto, so far up until the 4th canto, we have heard about Swayambhu Manu's 3 daughters, the descendants of 3 daughters. That is Mother Devahuti's in 3rd canto, that is Lord Kapila, and Akuti and Prasuti in the beginning of the 4th canto. That's where Daksha Yajna came, because Sati's story comes there, that we have heard, Akuti, Prasuti. So 3 daughters, descendants we have heard, and then Maharaja Uttanapadas, Dhruva, Anga, Vena, Prithu, and Prachina Barhishit and Prachetas, Daksha. All that we have heard in the last session. That's all, 4th canto. Now, the last son of Swayambhu Manu, Priyavrata. So, 5th canto talks about Priyavrata. So, we will hear the 5th canto, the buzzwords are, and I think, yes, today we have some, we had to make these slides, dear devotees. Let me bring it up. Yes, this one. And thanks to Rasakrida Mataji. She helped to put these slides together. So I'm going to share this one. I thought I'm sharing this. Yes. Let's bring it to slideshow. Yeah, that's 5th canto. You see, I think, yes, we have this visual anchor now. So these are the big buzzwords. Priyavrata, Rishabhadeva, Bharata. That's the first part of the 5th canto. First half, and the second half is cosmology. So this is 5th canto, dear devotees. If you want, you can take pictures from your screens, and I can post this also later if you need to, but at least you have a visual anchor now. This is 5th canto. You can have a glance at the other cantos also. That way we feel like we know it. 6th canto, Ajamila, about Daksha, Vritrasura, Chitraketu, Diti. Those are in the 6th canto. 7th canto is about Prahlad Maharaja and Hiranyakashipu, and then Varnashrama. That's the third big buzzword. 8th canto is Gajendra Moksha, Ksheerasagara Mandhanam, and Vamana Balicharita. Last one is Matsya. Okay. Well, come to the beginning now. Okay. So now, 5th canto. All right. Priyavrata. So Priyavrata is the son of Swayambhu Manu. Okay. This Priyavrata, Maharaj Priyavrata was very well established. He actually took Vanaprastha. He went to the forest. He went to the forest while Swayambhu Manu was ruling the kingdom. And under the guidance of Narada Muni, he was pretty much established in the devotional service in the forests. But what happens was, Swayambhu Manu wanted to retire. And so he wanted Priyavrata to come back from the forest to the kingdom and retire and rule the kingdom so he can retire. But Priyavrata had such great taste for the devotional service. He was hesitant to come back and get caught up with the worldly matters, the matters of the kingdom. So, seeing his hesitancy, Swayambhu Manu called Brahma, his father. Then Brahma, on his swan carrier, arrived there, those beautiful mountains. Maybe those are Gandhamadana mountains. And there Brahma comes and says, of course, Narada Muni was also there. So all of them, Narada Muni, Brahma, and Priyavrata, also Swayambhu Manu, all three of them, they bow down. And Brahma says, oh, my dear grandson, Priyavrata is the grandson, right? See, we cannot escape our occupational duties. This is a little reverse here, dear devotees. Priyavrata has already gone to the forest and he has developed taste for the devotional service. But now he's asked to come back and rule the kingdom. It didn't happen to other kings in Bhagavatam. We haven't heard that. But this happened with Priyavrata. Priyavrata is well established in devotional service. But now Brahma comes and says, oh, dear grandson, we cannot escape our occupational duties. And there is a reason why there is Varnashrama Dharma. Yeah. So as we have to follow the orders of the Lord. See, I'm doing my job. And Swayambhu Manu, he has done his job too so far. So now you will have to go back. You take up the kingdom and please do your job as king. You have to rule. And Priyavrata was like, I do not want to get entangled. What do I do? Then Brahma says, very nicely says, the matter of entanglement is more of an internal matter. So people, a person can be doing his or her occupational duty and still stay detached inside. What is the point of getting attached inside and then reject the occupational duties? So it is possible for you to still stay detached inside while you carry out your matters, your ruling of the kingdom. So like that, Brahma, he asks Priyavrata to go back to kingdom. Narada Muni cannot say anything. Narada Muni just stays quiet because he's a son of Brahma. And now when Brahma is asking to do this, to run the matters of universal affairs, then certain things need to be followed. Yeah. So Priyavrata goes back and for Maharaj Priyavrata, he rules his kingdom very well, and but they rule the kingdoms for thousands and thousands of years. He did it very well, but he was caught up slightly a little bit in sense gratification. Srila Sukadeva Goswami says he looked like he was caught up in a sense gratification as an ordinary being. He says that he looks like that in any case. So Maharaj Priyavrata, during his ruling, he has done what he did was, especially this Priyavrata, he didn't wanted his kingdom to be in dark while the sun is revolving on the other side. So he was ruling the whole Bhumandala. So what he did was he made such a brilliant chariot, as effulgent as sun. And he rode on the chariot and he followed the orbit of the sun god. So in this way, there was never darkness in the whole Bhumandala while Priyavrata was ruling the kingdom. Okay, that's one thing Priyavrata did. And second thing is, while he was riding the chariot like that, in the sun's orbit, the wheels of his chariot made seven circular impressions on Bhumandala. So these 7 impressions we will see in the next geographical cosmology thing. These 7 things, 7 impressions, they caused 7 oceans, which resulted in 7 islands too. Like that, these are the 2 major things that Priyavrata did during his ruling. Yeah, so those are the things. And of course, he has ruled the kingdom, and he had sons also. Agnidra, yeah, Agnidra. He's the son actually. Nabi is the son of Agnidra. We can, yeah, yeah. All right. So Agnidra is the son. So Priyavrata, he ruled the kingdom, and at the end, after ruling so many years, it suddenly occurs to him, what am I doing? I am caught up. I am caught up in this samsara. I am very much caught up in sense gratification with my wife. Oh my goodness. So he comes back to his senses. And then he thinks, I was so much situated in devotional service under the shelter of Narada Muni. And look at what I'm doing now. So he awakens, and then he renounces wife, kingdom, sons, everybody, and then comes back to Narada Muni, and then he continues his devotional service and then goes back to Godhead. That's Maharaj Priyavrata. And Priyavrata's had the Priyavrata's son is Agnidra, and Agnidra's son is Nabhi. Nabhi's son. Nabhi didn't have any sons. Okay. And so he asked the priest to please perform a yajna to please Lord Vishnu so he can get a son. And the priest performed the yajna for Nabhi, on behalf of Nabhi. And the Lord appeared, dear devotees. And the prayers of the priest were really nice. The priest, when the Lord appeared, priest said, "Oh Lord," first of all they said, "Please forgive us. We have done this yajna and you have so kindly appeared. We feel ashamed that we have done this yajna, so now we can ask you just for a son." What to say? I mean, you can give liberation, you can give yourself too, But we are forced to do yajna just because Nabi wanted to have a son. So please forgive us. So priests, they pray like that. But the Lord says, that's okay. Yeah. Nabi wanted a son, but he wanted a son exactly like me. But there is nobody exactly like me. There is no one equal to me. So I myself has to come as his son. A plenary portion of myself will come into the womb of his wife, Meru Devi. And I will be born as Rishabhadeva, says Lord Vishnu. And then he disappears. So in this way, Nabi has Rishabhadeva as his son. So Rishabhadeva is a plenary portion of the Lord. So the characteristics of Rishabhadeva, they are very beautifully described in Bhagavatam. How, the physical qualities also, how tall and with broad chest and the features, all those qualities are described. Main thing about Rishabhadeva here is Rishabhadeva had 100 sons, dear devotees. But all 100 sons, they are not in the same varna. All of them they didn't have the same inclinations. The first son, the older one, is Bharata. So out of 100 sons, 10 sons became Kshatriyas. And 9 of them became Navayogendras, Paramahamsas. And 81 of them, they became Karmakandis. Isn't that something? Rishabhadeva, he gave teachings to all his sons. Same teachings to all his sons. And the teachings of Rishabhadeva are very wonderful. So that we will hear a little more in Canto 5. And those are the important ones, especially the teachings of Rishabhadeva. Okay. So in the teachings of Rishabhadeva, Rishabhadeva took all his 100 sons and he took them to one of those parvatas in the Jambudvipa. And then he started instructing his sons. These are very nice teachings, dear devotees. Rishabhadeva is a plenary portion of Lord Vishnu. And the way his teachings are in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two personalities who emphatically say, get over with this sense gratification. The purpose of the life is to worship Lord Vishnu. There are two personalities, and they say very emphatically. One is Rishabhadeva. The other personality is Sri Prahalada. Oh my goodness. Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, they are really like thunderbolts. Rishabhadeva giving his teachings to get rid of sense gratification and to engage in devotional service. His position is as a plenary portion of the Lord he's teaching. Yeah, so we will hear this now. And when we hear Prahlad Maharaj teachings very soon, we will see the similarities, dear devotees. Rishabhadeva's teachings. This human life is not meant for sense gratification. His human life is not for hard work. Brahma Saukyam to Anantam. This human life is meant for Brahma Saukyam. To realize the supreme Brahman. And that is the purpose of human life. Rishabhadeva is saying this. And what to do in order to accomplish that purpose of human life, for the Brahma Saukyam, the eternal bliss? take shelter of Mahatmas. The second point. And what happens when a devotee takes shelter of the Mahatmas and practices devotion, especially in the family life? What happens? A devotee is not attached, but at the same time, not indifferent to one's responsibilities. That's what he says. And what is sense gratification? What is sinful activity? Any sense gratification is sinful activity, because sense gratification pulls us externally while the Lord is situated internally. And he also says, if there is no spiritual life, it is simply getting entangled in karma. One important teaching, Rishabhadeva says very clearly, is Pritirnamaye Vasudeva. If there is no love for Vasudeva, one is obliged to get material body. If there is no love for Vasudeva, one is obliged to get material body. Okay. And he also says, though one is considered wise because of their education, he is mad if he's after sense gratification. And that's why he concludes, so no sense gratification, and tolerate both the pleasure and the pain of the body and mind. This is all sadhana bhakti, right? Take the shelter of Mahatma, and no sense gratification. Tolerate pleasure and pain of the body and mind. See every living entity equally. Very much similar to Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, actually. So finally, he concludes his teachings and said, oh, all of you, dear sons, you have to accept a guru. Okay? And your love and faith in me is shown by how you accept the guru and serve your guru. And after saying that, he endorses Bharata Maharaj, who is the oldest son, the elder son. Yeah. And he says, now accept Bharata as your guru, and then assist him, serve him. So if you are pleasing Bharata, then you are pleasing me. And the final thing he says, if somebody is serious to go back home, back to Godhead, then they have to consider mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead as chief aim of their life. These are very packed ones, dear devotees. Actually, there can be, just for this statement of Rishabhadeva, this can be discussed for an hour or two. For somebody who is serious about going back home, back to Godhead, they have to consider the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead as chief aim of life. Chief aim of life means aim for every year, aim for every month, aim for every day. So every day, the goal is to obtain the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he already gave all these instructions. How to perform a devotional service, see everyone equally, and then take shelter of Guru and show your love and faith in Guru, your love and faith in me will be shown as you do it for Guru. So he said all these. And then Rishabhadeva is a plenary expansion of the Lord. And that's why he says, any moving or non-moving living entity, know that I am situated in them. So offer respect to every living entity at every moment. These Rishabhadeva's teachings, dear devotees. He says, offer respect to all at every moment. See everyone equally. And tolerate pleasure and pain of body and mind. You see, we will hear Prahlad Maharaj teachings very soon, dear devotees. They run very parallelly. I repeat this. No sense gratification, tolerate pleasure and pain of body and mind. I am situated in all living entities, so offer respect to all at every moment. Okay. These are the core principles of Rishabhadeva's teachings. And when we hear Prahlad Maharaj, we will see that they are almost very similar. And so in this way, you engage your senses and your mind in my service. Otherwise, you will get entangled materially. Those are Rishabhadeva's teachings. Yeah. And then after that, Rishabhadeva, he teaches his sons. And then after that, he brings his sons home back to the palace. But while he was in the palace itself, he just gets detached from all of the royal proceedings. He walks around like a madman, and he comes out of the kingdom and wanders over all over the country, and he looked like a madman. And Bhagavatam says, dear devotees, this is King Rishabhadeva, plenary portion of Lord Vishnu, how Rishabhadeva was treated as he was walking on the streets, as he was wandering around. He was treated in a very mean manner. Rishabhadeva. People spit on him, and people cursed him because Rishabhadeva acted like a madman. He's so enlightened internally. I mean, he's the plenary portion of the Lord. But they pass urine and stool on him, Rishabhadeva. But he was not disturbed. He was just, walking from place to place. And at the very end, he enters into a forest. And it is said that Rishabhadeva, he wandered around as Avaduta. And in order to keep all these people away, he smeared his own stool and urine on him. But that the aroma of the excretory, these are excretory products, but the aroma of the stool and urine of Rishabhadeva was spread 8 miles. So those are transcendental bodies. But so he had all mystic powers too, Rishabhadeva. He had mystic powers. And Parikshit Maharaj asks this question too. These mystic powers, they automatically come to these avadutas, right? Why didn't he exhibit any mystic powers? Then Sukadeva Goswami says, yeah, these yogis, Paramahamsas, they don't trust the mind. And they always keep their mind under control. And that's why he did not care for the mystic powers that he was getting, like that, he says. So, in this way, Rishabhadeva, he enters into the forest and then he creates a forest fire where he burns his transcendental body in that forest fire. And again, the aroma from the body comes out as the body is being burnt. So this is about Rishabhadeva. And one more thing about Rishabhadeva is, because Rishabhadeva externally he looked like a madman and wandering around as Avaduta, in South India, those kings who saw Rishabhadeva like that, they tried to mimic Rishabhadeva. So in that way, there was a sect that tried to mimic Rishabhadeva, and they also wander around like that. Bhagavatam mentions about that also. That's about Rishabhadeva. And the older son is Bharata Maharaj. King Bharata. So for Rishabhadeva, these are the appearance of Rishabhadeva, characteristics, and the teachings of Rishabhadeva and his activities that we have heard. Now Bharata Maharaj. King Bharata. King Bharata was ruling well. Yeah. And Maharaj Bharata, he renounced his wife, children, kingdom, everything, and comes to the forest. King Bharata. And he does his meditation and he comes to the stage of bhava. It is said that when Bharata Maharaj did his meditation, his heart was liquefied, and the nectar in the heart poured down as tears from his eyes. That was the description. So he has come to the stage of bhava. Stage of bhava. With that great attachment and absorption on the lotus feet of Lord Hari. He was in bhava stage. One day, he saw mother deer giving birth to baby deer, and then after that, mother deer left her body. So, King Bharata wanted to take care of this baby deer. He felt pity and he started taking care of the baby deer. Not only he was caring for the deer, but he got attached to the deer so much that he put his spiritual activities, devotional activities aside. So kindness is good, but to such an extent that he put his devotional activities aside. In this way, his object of meditation has shifted from the Lord to the deer. So he became more deer conscious than the Lord conscious. Yeah. So compassion is good, but the object of meditation should not change. And the spiritual activities that give us the strength, the spiritual strength, they cannot be compromised. So Bharata Maharaj, in this way, he got very much attached to the deer. And one day, deer, he did not see the deer. It was lost. And Bharata Maharaj, as he left the body, he was so much in deer conscious that he became deer next life. But he remembers, all of a sudden, he's in the deer body now, and he remembers, what? I was King Bharata, came to the forest. I got detached from the wife, sons, kingdom, and everybody. Alas, alas, I got attached to this deer. He remembers that. So that boon he had, because of all the tapasya and devotion that he did, that boon he had, that he remembered what mistake he has done in the previous life. So he was thinking in his deer body, oh my goodness, what did I do? So this deer, Bharata, when he recalled all this, it was in a very distant place, but comes to this Pulastya ashram, if I'm not wrong. This is where he was doing all his tapasya. So he comes back to the same place, and then he leaves the body there. The dear Bharata leaves his body there, and this time Bharata, in his third life, he took birth as Jada Bharata. He took birth as a boy in a Brahmana family, and he's called Jada Bharata because he was determined to act dumb and deaf and not be caught up with any more material entanglement outside. That's why he's called Jada. So Jada Bharata, that's the third birth of Bharata. Jada Bharata and King Rahuguna. These are beautiful teachings. King Rahuguna was heading to Kapila Ashrama. And on the way, they needed one more palanquin bearer. So Jadabharata was walking that way. Actually, even before that, Jadabharata, when he was born, when he was small, he acted so dumb and deaf that he couldn't be trained in Brahmana duties. And later his father died and he was mistreated by his brothers. And the dacoits saw that Jadabharata was deaf and dumb and wanted to give him as a human sacrifice. And goddess Kali could not tolerate that. So she appeared from the Vigraha and she killed all the dacoits because goddess Kali could not tolerate the great Mahabhagavata, Jadabharata, being treated like that. So Jadabharata just walks out of the whole ghastly scene while he was saved, protected by Mother Kali, and when she killed and drank the blood of all the dacoits, Jadabharata was really a Jadabharata. It did not matter to him a bit. Even when the dacoits were taking him to give him as a human sacrifice and laid him down and the sword went up to chop off his neck, he was a Jadabharata. Did not matter a bit to him. Kalima, she could not see what was happening and she had to come out of the Vigraha and then kill the dacoits. Still, Jadabharata, it did not matter a bit for him. As if nothing happened, he just walked out of that ghastly scene there. And this way, he was just walking on the street. And at that time, King Rahuguna was heading to Kapilashrama. So the palanquin bearers, they were looking for one more palanquin bearer to carry the palanquin. So they called Jadabharata. Jadabharata, he was carrying the palanquin, but his heart was so soft that he didn't want to step on the ants too. So he wasn't able to carry the palanquin properly. And King Rahuguna is sitting inside the palanquin. He chastised Jadabharata. And Jadabharata replied back with his own words of wisdom. Rahugana, King Rahuguna, he thought, whoa, who am I talking to? Who am I yelling at? He seems to be like a Paramahamsa. He jumped out of the palanquin, King Rahuguna. And then he paid obeisances. He fell in the feet of Jadabharata, asked for forgiveness. And there, Jadabharata gives beautiful instructions to King Rahuguna, knowing that Rahuguna is ready for enlightenment. Before giving the instructions, Jadabharata, he says something to Rahugana after he jumps out of the palanquin. Rahuganayeta tapasanayeti nachaityaya nirvipanat grihatva nachandasayeva jalagni suryay vinamahat padarajobhishekam. What do you think of yourself, Rahugana? You think you are a king? Yeah. Not the tapasa and not perfectly following the varnashrama dharma, not even being a perfect sannyasi, and not just knowing the Vedas thoroughly, and not even going through the austerities of putting fire around and doing tapasya in the summer or entering into cold, icy waters in winter. None of these things can give you bhakti, can make you understand what devotion means. Vina mahat padarajobhishekam, unless you smear the dust of the lotus feet of Paramahamsas, the pure devotees, you will not be able to understand what devotion means. So he starts like that, and then he speaks everything about the soul, the matter, and the devotional service, everything. So that's about Bharata Maharaj and the teachings of Bharata to King Rahukuna. That's the first part, dear devotees, in the 5th canto. In that way, we have completed all the descendants of Swayambhu Manu. Now, the second half is cosmology. Here, this is Sthanam. Sthanam is placement. All the living entities, now that creation and subcreation, all that has happened, actually, Daksha, where is he coming? He'll be coming very soon too. So all these living entities, they are placed in the Brahmanda, in different planetary systems. So what are those planetary systems? The description of the Brahmanda is cosmology. That is given in the second part of the 5th canto. So these are the different words you may want to note down about description of Jambudvipa. Let's see. I want to show you the picture. I think, yeah, you will feel a little better. I will try, dear devotees, if we can go with that slide. That is, it may take a little time, but we'll just keep with the flow. Sorry, there are not too many slides because we had to do the slides ourselves. Yeah, I think we'll just go with the flow because time also matters now. I was going to show you the planetary system and everything, but this will be a quick one. 5th canto. Yeah, Sthanam. Sthanam in this and the Jambudvipa, the 14 planetary systems. And in the middle is the Meru Parvata, right? And Jambudvipa is the first, the central island is Jambudvipa, right? And the description of how Mother Ganga comes from the casual water and makes her way to from Brahmaloka and then takes her course in 4 different directions in Meru Parvata. So the descent of Ganga is described there. And in Jambudvipa, prayers of residents of Jambudvipa. Here, dear devotees, this is an important section. Beautiful prayers are there. And the prayers of the demigods here. See, the demigods are there in Swargaloka. Demigods are there in this Bhumandala, in this Varshas, in the Jambudvipa also. So prayers of residents of Jambudvipa are important. And there's one prayer of the demigods. They say, oh, how fortunate are those human beings. They are able to perform devotional service. They are able to hear the glories of Lord Hari. And here we are stuck in these, those are still called the celestial places because the demigods reside. We are here stuck in the bodies of demigods, and we are so much intoxicated with the pleasures. So when would we enter into those human bodies? When would we take the birth as a human being? Because only in the body of a human being, one would be able to perform devotional service to the fullest and go back to the spiritual realm. So like that, beautiful prayers are there in the prayers of Jambudvipa. And then the structure of the universe is also described, the islands, the 7 islands and the oceans, all of that is described. Movements of the sun, S-U-N here, actually, movements of sun and orbits of the planets and Sishumara planetary system and subterranean heavenly planets. All the Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, all the 7 planetary systems beneath the Bhumandala, they are actually called heavenly planets, subterranean heavenly planets. They are not hellish planets, these 7 planetary systems. hellish planets are present beneath them. Okay, so all this is given in Sthanam. 5th canto done. 6th canto. I think we have to concise even more. All right, we will do that. Yeah, 6th canto is about Poshana. Poshana is maintenance. 5th canto was about Sthanam, how the Lord mercifully placed all the living entities through his agencies like Brahma. Now, Poshana is maintenance. How a devotee is maintained. Though there is an accidental misdoing, how the Lord maintains his devotees. That's Poshanam. In Poshanam, we have Ajamila Charita regarding Daksha, Vritrasura, and Chitraketu. These 4 are, 3 are important. There's not a lot with Daksha Arditi, but Ajamila Charita. In Ajamila Charita, the Poshanam was by Harinam. When presenting this summary, the prayers, the instructions of Yamaraj, and the conversation between Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas, they're very beautiful, dear devotees. We'll try to concise. Okay. Ajamila Charita. So why did this question come here? Because Maharaj Parikshit was asking, oh my God, the hellish planetary systems, what can be done in order to escape from this, for a living entity to escape from the hellish planets? An answer to that is Harinam. So that's how Ajamila Charita is coming here. That's the connection. The storyline is this. Sukadev Goswami is explaining how if a person is not atoned completely, then he would go to hell. Sukadev Goswami says that. Then Parikshit Maharaj says, that doesn't sound too complete, Guru Varya. See, even if somebody does the prayaschitta, atonement, they will still have this taste for sense gratification. So they'll end up doing the sins again. So there must be an absolute way where somebody can avoid going to hell. When he asks that, then Sukadev Goswami says, oh, of course, yes, it is the holy name of Lord Hari. And I'll tell you the story of Ajamila, how the holy name of Lord Hari gave Poshana and then saved Ajamila from going to hell. Like that, he starts the story of Ajamila. Ajamila was very pious Brahmana in the beginning, but later on he succumbs to lust and then lives with a prostitute. And when he was 88 years old, then he had a small son, Narayana. So when it was time for him to die, Yamadutas come and they were snatching the soul of Ajamila from the heart. And Ajamila cried out, Narayana, those 4 words. 4 Vishnudutas came and they stopped these 3 Yamadutas. No, you can't pull out Ajamila like this. You cannot take him to hell. The whole conversation is very beautiful, actually. When Yamadutas, they were snatching out the soul of Ajamila, 4 Vishnudutas come and they stopped Yamadutas from doing it. And then Yamadutas ask, who are you? You are so brilliant that you drive away all the darkness from here. We are trying to do our dharma. Why are you stopping us from doing the dharma? Said Yamadutas. Then Vishnuduta said, okay, if you think you know Dharma, can you tell us what is Dharma? Then the Yamadutas, they say, see, Dharma is according to the Vedas. Yeah. And anybody who doesn't follow the rules of the Vedas and their occupational duties in the scriptures, then they are doing, they are performing karma. And in this way, all the living entities here in this Brahmanda are under the influence of modes. Either they are doing good karma or bad karma. Ultimately, they have to come to hell. So that's why we are taking this Ajamila. You don't know how many sins he has committed. You are looking very Divya Tejas. So you don't know about this sinful person. And he is very much a candidate to go to hell because of all these sinful activities he performed, says Yamadutas. Then Vishnuduta says, wait a minute. Have you heard him saying Narayana? Yeah. And your calculation is what is pious and impious that he has done. Our calculation is he has uttered the holy name, Narayana. When somebody follows the Vedic rules, at the most, they will be not committing sin, but just following the Vedic rules. They don't remind the Lord. But chanting the name of the Lord reminds the Lord. And when somebody is serving the lotus feet of the Lord, all the contaminations are gone. So in this way, whoever utters the holy name of the Lord are beyond the Vedic rules and regulations. So that's why you cannot take Ajamila to hellish planets. So in this way, Vishnudutas stopped the Yamadutas. And Ajamila, when Ajamila tries to talk, that's when Vishnudutas disappear. And then Ajamila realizes, oh my goodness, I didn't know. I just uttered this name Narayana because I put that name to my son and I was calling out son. They heard, Ajamila heard the conversation between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas. And then in this way, Ajamila heard the glories of the holy name from this Vishnudutas. So then he, of course, in that way, he's saved and he goes to Haridwar and he continues his bhakti yoga and chanting the name of Lord Hari. And then at the end of his life, Vishnudutas do actually come for his sake to take him to Vaikuntha. That is the portion of Harinam to Ajamila. Will just concise like that. And then Daksha. Actually, after that, Yamaraj instructs Yamadutas. Wonderful. They are also wonderful, but we're not touching that because of the time. And now coming to the next one, Daksha. Daksha, he is the Prajapati. He started creating demigods and demons from his mind. It wasn't going well. Not much is going on. So he decided to worship Lord Vishnu, offer prayers to him, and those are called Hamsaguhya prayers. And Lord Vishnu appears there. And dear devotees, Daksha was worshipping Lord Vishnu so he can enjoy illusory energy. So Lord Vishnu, he knew why Daksha was offering prayers, and he blessed that he can enjoy the illusory energy. Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham paramam. Whatever you desire, you may have. You don't have to go to any demigods. Lord Krishna, Vishnu is there. So Daksha, because he's a Prajapati and he has to procreate, so his desire was to procreate so much. Like that. So he was blessed. Ashikni is the wife of Daksha. So that's how Daksha gets married to Ashikni. And he gives birth to he has 1,000 or 10,000 sons, Haryavashas. They have gone to the forest. They wanted to get ready as Prajapatis, but Narada Muni converts all of them into brahmacharis, trains them so they can go back home, back to Godhead. Then Daksha sends his second set of sons. Again, 10,000 sons. Shavalashvas. Same thing happens to them. Narada Muni delivers them. Daksha gets very angry. I am procreating so many sons, so the Brahmanda can be filled with all the living entities. And here is Narada Muni liberating everybody from the entanglement. So that's why Daksha gets angry that he's not letting his sons procreate, get into the family life and give children, but delivering all his sons. So Daksha gets angry and he curses Narada Muni. He says, you cannot stay in one place. You will be constantly moving. That was the curse of Daksha to Narada Muni. This is why it is, said. Prabhupada says that's why the sannyasis, they keep moving because they're the followers of the Narada doing the same service. So like that, Daksha curses Narada Muni. And after that, Daksha begets daughters only, no more sons, 60 daughters. From that 60 daughters, dear devotees, Brahmanda is almost filled. From them comes the towns, the cities, the skies, and the demigods, the demons, the bees, the aquatics, the birds, different kinds of species. Because he's Daksha, expert in procreation. So big, what is that? In the universe, a Big Bang theory, right? Daksha is like that. He's a Big Bang progenitor. Because the 60 daughters, they filled the Brahmanda with so many species. That's about Daksha. And next, in the Poshana comes the Charita of Chitraketu, dear devotees. For Ajamila, Harinam did the Poshana, maintenance. Here, Vritrasara Chitraketu. Vritrasara Charita comes first. So we'll just go ahead with that only. Vritrasara. Parikshit Maharaj asked about Vritrasara. How come this big demon behave like a great devotee on the battlefield? Can you please tell more about Vritrasara Charita? Then Sukadeva Goswami starts explaining. This is in the context of how the devotion, Poshana to the devotion is done, is maintained. Though Chitraketu has changed his body to Vritrasara. So this is the context. But the story of Vritrasara comes first, so we'll go ahead with that. Vritrasara, how the birth of Vritrasara, how did it happen? Indra, one time, he becomes proud. He offends his spiritual master, Brahaspati, so he walks away. And if the spiritual master walks away, then there is no protection and strength to the demigods. Dear devotees, that is the whole principle. So Indra goes to Brahma and says, what do I do now? Okay, then you go to Twashta. He has a son called, son's name is Vishwa, not Vishwakarma. And Vritrasura is right. Hamsagu here. Vritrasura, Narayana Kaucha, Vritrasura. Okay. So Twashta. Twashta has a son. And so he can be your spiritual master. So he's not Vishwakarma. He's something very similar. His name. So he becomes the spiritual master of Indra, and he gives Narayana Kavacha. Narayana Kavacha here. Yeah, Narayana Kavacha. So this Narayana Kavacha gives protection to the Indra, and in this way, he gets rid of the attacks from the demons. That's about Narayana Kavacha. So this Indra kills this again, second time. First time he offended the spiritual master, and the second time, I'm just saying his name as Vishwakarma, but very similar. His name is something very similar to that. So he kills his spiritual master because...
Rupa Mataji.
Who's the name?
Wow.
Yes, please.
His name is Vishwarupa.
Rupa. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Not Vishwarupa. Thank you, Prabhu. Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is the son of Tvashta. So he has a demoniac background family. One of his parent is a demon. In this way, Vishwarupa, when he was offering the oblations in the yajna, he was doing it for the demigods also, because he's the spiritual master of the demigods. But he was also doing for the demons too, because demons are related to him too. That's why Indra, he gets very insecure. He saw this, and for this reason, he cuts the head of Vishwarupa. Tvashta, his father, gets very angry that Indra has done this. So he performs a yajna to bring somebody to kill Indra. But when he performs the yajna, the mantras he he doesn't utter it right. Tvashta doesn't do it right. So instead of killing Indra, a person who will be killed by Indra is born, and his name is Vritrasura. Vritrasura Charita is a glorious one. The appearance of Vritrasura, how huge he was. One thing, Vritrasura. His features were demoniac, fearful. Their features were fearful. He was so huge that he was obstructing the clouds. But, dear devotees, he was effulgent. Vritrasura was effulgent, though he was in a demonic body. So then the Vritrasura, how he encourages Indra to kill him in the battlefield, how he cannot wait to get out of this demoniac body. Vritrasura's prayers, we don't have the time to sing those prayers, but beautiful prayers. He says, Indra, why are you waiting? Kill me. I can't wait to get out of this world of material desires. I can't wait to get out of this demoniac body. I can't wait to get to the destination of the sage of Narada Muni, where I can worship the lotus feet of Sankarshana. This is Vritrasura telling Indra to kill him, that he can't wait to get out of this body. Then Indra, of course, he finally, Indra has this Vajrayudha. How did this come? Because when Vritrasura came in Vritrasura appeared, all the demigods were very scared. And they prayed to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu said, okay, go to Dadichi. Dadichi's bones will be used by Vishwakarma to form Vajrayudha. And I will invest my power in that Vajrayudha. And with this Vajrayudha, Indra, you kill Vritrasura. You have no strength to kill Vritrasura. Only this Vajrayudha, which is invested with my power, can kill Vritrasura. So in this way, Indra kills Vritrasura. That is about Vritrasura Charita. And of course, after that, Indra, again, killing Vritrasura. Vritrasura is also a Brahmana. And he obtains some sin because of the Brahmana Hatya. And he somehow atones the sins with the help of Rudra and Lakshmi Devi. And finally, he gets to the kingdom. That's Vritrasura Charita. And how come this Vritrasura, who is a demon, was effulgent in the battlefield and is offering all these devotional prayers? That was the question. And so Sukadeva Goswami is telling the story of Chitraketu. Oh, it's because this. That Vritrasura is not an ordinary one. He was Chitraketu in his previous life. He didn't have any sons. And but he was blessed with a son. And this son also died. And Narada Muni came to him and he enlightened him when he was very grief-stricken. When his son died, Narada Muni came, enlightened him. He gave the mantra by which he had darshan of Sankarshana. So in this way, he became a great devotee of Sankarshana. And one day, he laughed at Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati because Mother Parvati was sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva and addressing a saintly congregation. So Mother Parvati cursed him, cursed Chitraketu to enter into a demon body. And that's how Chitraketu entered into the body of Vritrasura. Sorry about this, dear devotees. Here is Chitraketu. This is not put properly. I think this got mixed up. We'll post the correct prayers later. This is all about Daksha. It was not Chitraketu. Okay. But, so that's about Chitraketu. So, here the whole point is Chitraketu's devotion was so big. Though he entered into the Vritrasura body, the demoniac body, his devotion did not diminish, but only got so much amplified, so much augmented, that Vritrasura could not stay in that body anymore and is encouraging Indra to kill him so he can go to the destination of sages like Narada, which is abode of Lord Sankarshana. And that's about Vritrasura Charita, Chitraketu. And this small word about here is Diti was doing this Pumsavana ceremony. She wanted to kill Indra, but she was praying to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu, and the arrangement was so much, it was like that. Indra came in disguise and wanted to help Diti in the pretext of helping Diti to do the yajna. Somehow Indra manages to enter into the womb of Mother Diti and slice all the embryo into different pieces, and they become maruts. At the end, these maruts, they become the demigods. Indra accepts them as demigods. So here Diti, because she took shelter of Lord Vishnu, though her intention is to kill Indra, because she took shelter of Lord Vishnu, she was saved and Indra was also saved. Whoever takes care of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, then there will be Poshana given. They will be maintained. Okay, that is about Canto 6. Canto 7 is about Utaya. Utaya is Prahlada. Uti, the demoniac tendency coming out is Hiranyakashipu, and divine tendency coming out is Prahlada. What can I say? We have to super concise this now. Canto 7. Okay. So Hiranyakashipu, he did the tapas. We all heard how vigorous was the tapas. He was just at the end, he was carrying the tapas in his, he was carrying his life in his bone marrow. So austerity was quite big. So Brahma appeared there, and Hiranyakashipu didn't want it. He wanted a boon where he will not be killed by any living entity created by Brahma. For him, Brahma is the topmost. Lord Vishnu was just one among the demigods. So that's why he did tapasya to Lord Brahma. Yeah. So in any case, he got this boon that he will not be killed by anybody that is born of Brahma, and the special considerations. So in that way, Hiranyakashipu, he got this boon. He came back to the palace, and Prahlada was born, and Prahlada, in Prahlada Charita, this Prahlada Maharaj, the qualities of Prahlada Maharaj that we want to say. Prahlada Maharaja is Govinda Parirambita. Prahlada Maharaja, it is said that he was feeling the touch of the Lord. Govinda Parirambita means always embraced by Govinda. And that was making him cause the tears roll down the cheeks. And he was dancing and ecstatic. And he didn't realize how his body is functioning. The activities of, his daily activities with his body were going. He did not keep track of it. He did not realize it. They were just happening automatically. So in this way, Prahlada Maharaja was very much absorbed in the smarana of Lord Vishnu. And one day, Shanda and Amarka brought Prahlad Maharaja to Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu asked, "Oh, my dear son, you have heard, you have learned so much, right? Can you tell me what is the most important teaching of all the scriptures you have heard?" And then Prahlad Maharaj says, "Tassadu vanyam manye asuravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhiyama satgrihat hitvatmapakam gruhamandakupam vanam gato yad haridashrayeta." What are you doing sitting here? You should go to Vanam Gatoyat. You should go to the forest and meditate on Lord Hari. Prahlad Maharajas. First time instructing Hiranyakashipu. He was sitting on the lap of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaja. And this is the first instruction to Hiranyakashipu. And then what did Hiranyakashipu say? He laughed. "Oh, Balaka, you, my little boy, yeah, your intelligence is polluted. I guess some enemies are coming and polluting your intelligence. Shanda Amarka, please take care of this boy. See that he's not polluted by our enemies, that his intelligence is not polluted by the enemies." So he goes. Shanda Amarka takes him to the school. And then Shanda Amarka asks this question to Prahlada. "Prahlada, you are such a sweet boy. We have a question. We are teaching the same thing to all of you here. Nobody speaks like you. How come only you speak like this? Why only you speak about Lord Vishnu, who is our enemy? Yeah. Who is teaching you all this?" And then Prahlada, he is like, "Oh, enemy? Did you just say enemy? Look at the illusory energy of the Lord. I have heard that there is an illusory energy of the Lord when I was in the womb of my mother, when my Gurudev Narada was teaching. Of course, my mother forgot about all that, but I remember. I have heard about this illusory energy. Oh, now I am seeing the activity of this illusory energy. You are thinking there is an enemy and there is a friend? All glories to that Lord Vishnu and his illusory energy, who can make people think that there are enemies and friends." That's what Prahlad Maharaj said. And he also says, if you are thinking it is enemy, let me tell you where that intelligence is coming from. Like an iron is attracted by a magnet, Lord Vishnu, because of his mercy, is attracting me so much as the iron is attracted to the magnet. So call your enemy is my strength, says Prahlad Maharaj. Shanda Marka, they get so angry. And they try to chastise and punish, and they teach Prahlad Maharaj about Dharmartha Kama and about all the politics. Politics is the something that doesn't gel with Prahlad Maharaj. Because politics means you have to see somebody as enemy. Prahlad Maharaj cannot see anybody as enemy. He sees only Lord Vishnu everywhere, in everybody's heart. Dear devotees, Prahlad Charita is amazing in Srimad Bhagavatam. When possible, if you go to Veda base and just go to only translation mode, and you read one after the other, the mood of Prahlad Maharaj, the instructions of Prahlad Maharaj, that the tone, how emphatically he says, beautifully comes out. Continuing with our katha here. So Prahlad Maharaj says, and Chandamarka, they teach all this. Prahlad Maharaj, he gives a deaf ear. And then, while Chandamarka teaches here, Prahlad Maharaj starts teaching all these demonic friends. Again, beautiful teachings. Why? How devotion should be taken up in the very beginning. Because in 100 years, 50 years are gone for sleep. 10 years in childhood pranks. And in 10 years is bewilderment of youth. 20 years for the old age. And left over 10 years is completely lost in sense gratification. So where is the time for the devotion? That's why, my dear friends, who are the sons of the demon, you have to take up devotion in the very early stage, in the very early age. Like that, Prahlad Maharaj, he starts teaching all these friends, and all these demons, sons of the demons, they become devotees. By the time Chandamarka came back to the classroom, everybody is singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chandamarka, they were wondering, what happened to this classroom? It has become a temple room. This is all because of Prahlada. Okay, Prahlada is taken back again to Hiranyakashipu, reported to Hiranyakashipu. And this time, Hiranyakashipu, when he asks, what did you learn? Actually, second time Prahlada Maharaj is brought to the Hiranyakashipu when he asks, what did you learn? Then Prahlada Maharaj says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnur Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktische Navalakshanam Kriyete Bhagavatyada Tanmani Atitamuttamam. So this is the thing I have learned, dear Father. This is what everybody should be doing. This is what you should be doing also. So direct teachings, instructions to Hiranyakashipu, that happens in the second time. And third time, when he's brought here to the assembly like this, then Hiranyakashipu orders that Prahlad Maharaj be killed, because he's converting all these demons to devotees. So that's why he is ordered to kill Prahlad Maharaj. He's thrown from a cliff, and he's fed poison. He was trampled upon by elephants. He was hissed by poisonous snakes. He was put in the blazing fire, and he was put under the spells of evil witch, evil spells, all of them. Prahlad Maharaj did not even know that all these things were happening, because he was so much absorbed in the smarana of Lord Hari. Sukadeva Goswami is known for his Shravanam. Prahlad Maharaj is known for his Smarana. Yeah. So in this way, Prahlad Maharaj, he didn't even know all these things were happening. And Hiranyakashipu gave up. He said, I give up. I don't know what to do with this kid. Like the dog's tail is always curved. This Prahlada, he is not budging a bit from his devotion. I give up. And actually, he was scared by this time, Hiranyakashipu. If Prahlada is so powerful, And Lord Hari, who is he? Who he is meditating upon? I wonder how much more he is powerful. So Hiranyakashipu gets scared. Then Chandamarka says, it's okay, it's okay, King Hiranyakashipu. He's a little boy, somehow we'll tame him. Let our spiritual master come. And when he starts serving our spiritual master, who is our spiritual master, then he will also change. So, and then he will start to learn politics. So that's fine. We will take care of him. Shukracharya, spiritual master. Yeah. So that way he takes them back again. He takes them back again. And the time comes back where Prahlad Maharaj is brought back again, and because he was not killed before by any means, Hiranyakashipu decides to kill Prahlad Maharaj, and he picks up the sword. And Prahlad Maharaj says, Lord Vishnu is present everywhere. And then Hiranyakashipu says, is he present in this pillar? Of course, in this pillar too. Okay, if you say that he's present everywhere and in this pillar too, let him come out. Let him come and save you, because I'm going to kill you now. And then he bangs his sword on the pillar, and Narsingha Bhagwan, he comes out. There's Adrishyamatyadbhuta Roopamugravan Stambe Sabhayam Namragam Namanusham. Narasimhadeva comes out like that. And then, of course, he kills Hiranyakashipu, and all the demigods are there, and they are scared to go near to Narasimhadeva. And then Brahma says, please, Prahlada, you go, please. Prahlada goes there, fearlessly falls at the lotus feet of Narasimhadev. And Narasimhadev picks him up, and it is said that he licks Prahlad Maharaj out of his affection. And Prahlad Maharaj offers beautiful prayers there. Beautiful prayers, very beautiful prayers. How he says, service, you don't need any service, my Lord. We do the service for our own purification. He also says, you come in this wondrous form for your own pleasure. Yeah. And I am not feared of your form. I am feared of this material energy. So please always keep me at your lotus feet. And then finally the prayers, one after the other, beautiful prayers. The last prayer he says is, I am not concerned about myself. I have no problem. I will think of your pastimes, and I will be absorbed in your thoughts, and I will be serving my savior Narada Muni, who actually gave this transcendental position. And the pleasure of seeing you, Narsingha Bhagwan. I am concerned about these fools here who are stuck in this material world. So I want to teach devotional service to all of them. I want to bring all of them to your lotus feet. That's the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. So we only said about the mood of the Prahlad Maharaj. We didn't even go to the prayers. Like that, Prahlad Maharaj offers prayers, and Narsingha Bhagwan, he blesses. And this one is, the third part is Varnashrama. Varnashrama is what is the portion of the soul who is not so demonic as Hiranyakashipu and not so divine as Prahlada Maharaj. So for the gradual purification, it's Varnashrama. That's what the third part is. Canto 8. I'm only going to read the headings and subheadings. Is about Manvantara. Canto 8. So, Poshana, Ishanukatha. Actually, Canto 8 is Ishanukatha, not Manvantara. We'll change that here. That's Ishanukatha. Here, Gajendra Moksha is discussed. Gajendra's prayers and Kshirasagara Mandana. the churning of milk ocean, how the demigods appealed the Lord, and Lord gave this idea, okay, you team up with demons, both of you can start churning, and many things will come out. First of all, the poison will come out. So do not be bewildered. And later on, many attractions will come. So don't get attracted. Don't be deviated. Continue your churning until the nectar comes out. So Lord Vishnu gives all that instruction, and then churning of the milk ocean happens. Mohini Murti also come. The Shiva, Lord Shiva drinks the poison, and many things come in between after that. And demigods very nicely followed the instructions of Lord Vishnu, didn't go for fighting with demons. They didn't get agitated with the demons. And Mohini Murti, avatar, also comes there. And she distributes the nectar, finally, to the demigods. In this way, Kshirasagara Manthanam story is described. And later on, Lord Shiva, when he hears about this story, he wanted to see that enchanting form of Lord Vishnu, that is Mohini Murti. So that is also described there. After that is Bali Maharaj Charita here. How Bali Maharaj conquered heavenly planets. And Aditi, Aditi wanted her children to rule this kingdom, heavenly kingdoms again. So she does Payovrata. And Lord Vishnu appears as her son, as Vamanadeva. And Vamanadeva goes to Bali Maharaj, asks these 3 steps. And then Bali Maharaj, he couldn't give the 3rd one because Vamanadeva has covered the whole universe, including the Bhumandala. So Bali Maharaj offers himself, surrenders his life to Vamanadeva. And this was an inspiration from Prahlada Maharaja. It is said like that. The Atma Nivedana of Bali Maharaj was inspired by Prahlada Maharaja, his grandfather. And so Bali Maharaj, in this way, is sent to Sutala Loka, and Lord himself becomes the gatekeeper for Bali Maharaj. And demigods, they get their heavenly planets back, because Vamanadeva's incarnation is to give that demigods kingdom, heavenly kingdom, to the demigods. So that's Vamana Avtara. And Matsya, just a mention that Satyavrata was in the Matsya Avatara, and later on he becomes the Manu, Vaivashvata Manu. That's all, dear devotees. That's 4 cantos. It was so super condensed at the end. We just read the headings and subheadings only. Yeah. It wasn't so easy just to read subheadings and subheadings, especially when there are beautiful prayers there. But in any case, the purpose is to summarize. So that's all, dear devotees. And to summarize again, just Canto 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5 is about, don't need this one. Yeah, I'll stop there. Yeah. Canto 5, 6, 7, 8. It feels like we just started it a while ago. A few minutes ago, that's how it feels like. Because I don't feel like I said anything at all. None of the prayers came out. None of the verses came out. Anyway. So just the headings and subheadings. Canto 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 has Sthanam. After the Priyavrata Charita and the descendants of Priyavrata, it's Sthanam. Priyavrata, Agnidra, and then Rishabhadeva, and King Bharata. And in Bharata, the 3 lives of Bharata. King Bharata, Dhir Bharata, Jada Bharata. Okay, that's 5th canto, first half. Second half is all about cosmology, the 14 planetary systems, about the Dvipas, especially Jambu Dvipa, and how the descent of Mother Ganges, and then the whole Bhumandala. There's description of Bhumandala and the orbiting of the sun. And the subterranean heavenly planets and then hellish planets, all of them, cosmology, that is all Sthanam. Next, Poshana. Poshana by Harinam, that's Ajamila Charita. Then Daksha, that's where we heard about the Hamsaguhya prayers. And next one is Vritrasura Charita, glorious Vritrasura. And how is he glorious? Because he was Chitraketu before, and his devotion was very nicely maintained by the Lord, though apparently he has regressed from a king's body to demon's body. Bhakti was only blossoming. Yeah. So that's how the Poshana has happened there. Chitraketu, Vritrasura, Chitraketu, and the last one was Diti. Yeah, that's Poshana. 6th canto, and 7th canto is Utaya, Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. What do I say? Just 2 words. And then Varnashrama in the 7th canto. And then 8th canto is about Ishanukata. Sthanam, Poshana, Utaya, Manvantara. Yeah. In Manvantara. Yeah, this is Manvantara. Ishanukata is 9th canto. Sorry. Yeah. Manvantara. Because all the Manus in the days of Brahma are described here. And so there we heard about Gajendra Moksha. Gajendra Moksha. And then Kshirasagara Mandanam, because Mohini Murti appeared there. And then Vamana, Bali, and then Matsyavatara. That's all, dear devotees. I don't know what else to say. One thing is clear. We have done summary of 4 cantos. 4 cantos in just 1.5 hours. That is very clear.